Where we're at now is we've come to the upstroke and downstroke, and you took a look at that. How's that coming along for you?
Let's see. Something like that. It's I have moments where I feel it and it feels better than other times, right? And I think it has to do with hours of just doing this, right?
Well, Richard Wilson would say, Kevin, and I couldn't say, he'd say that. I said, don't say that. He'd say, it's 15 minutes, 15 years, or forever. I said, no, no, no. Right. So this thing actually, you know, how did Buddy Rich just some kind of musical gene, whatever it is. But this technique is rather simple, actually, and yet, depending on bad habits we've created through years of searching and not really having proper direction, or sometimes maybe it is better to not study with anybody and just study, and try to tap into, unless you have the right teacher. In fact, that summer, Spivak starts his video with Louis Belson, doesn't he? He talks about it's very important that you have the proper teacher right, and so here's what I see when you first started to play. Remember, and I showed you Richard Wilson and him writing on stick control, bottom of the bead on upstroke. It's so many of his scripts. Bottom of the bead. Kevin, you're getting the tip. You're leading with your arm. You can't get the bottom of the bead on the up if you lead with your arm. So what I noticed was we're always aiming for the flat of the bead, right? And so if you do this and get the dip, that's not it. The first thing to do really is to just feel what does a wrist turn feel like? What does that actually see? My left. I know what a wrist rotation is in traditional. In mat, it's going to be the same thing. Come up a little higher for me. Now you're getting that height simply by opening up your hand. I want you to turn the wrist up. I mean, in real time, maybe the stick, because of the momentum, will come away a little bit. But if I go up just in slow motion, it would just be like this. Right? We're just trying to get this. Now notice when I come up, this is what I'm talking about. If this stuff seems like minutia, like give me the real deal, but this is the real deal. Mm-hmm. When I see you going up, Patrick, I see your, and everyone's built a little bit differently, but just let your arms hang by your side. Let them hang. See, you probably feel your arm resting against your side, just all the way up till just above the elbow. I can feel my arm against my side. I'm going to bring it up. It's almost, just in your right. Just lean over for a sec, just for fun. Yeah, you see how your arm wants to hang on your side? You can feel it. It doesn't change too much as you straighten out. There, now your right arm looks like it's in a hanging position. Right? Left is a little further away. Go ahead and aim to your left. It's there, see? It just wants to hang there. It's just there. You just be there. Right. That's a really big deal. It'll never be right if you're doing something with your arms. Okay. Right. Trying to let all of this go and lead with the wrist. Okay. So now. So when your arms are by your side, for instance, in the right, and you come up, it's just going to do this. Come on up. Yeah, higher. Up higher. Come on, you come up.
It doesn't go that high.
Because you're holding your arm stiff. At a certain point, doesn't the arm become engaged at a certain point?
Yes.
Just so much. But if you do it with your arm, it's not it. It's led by the wrist. Come on up to here. Come on up to here. Don't just be down here doing this. I want you to come on up. Okay, and then let the thing collapse. Come up higher. How high? Come up. See, I'm up by my face.
Yeah, I don't think my wrist does that.
Well, it will. Watch. See, just
more stretching.
Just like the wrist will lead the arm for a throw, it will. The wrist will lead. Come on up. Let your arm go. Let the arm follow the wrist. Come on up there, like that. There. Now come on down. Boom. 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 See, that's much better. There you go. Do that in the other hand. That in the other hand. Now, careful, I hesitate to mention certain stuff. Just come on up. Look, yeah, not bad.
So that's bringing some arm into the wrist turn.
Well, it's so subtle, you see. You wouldn't know it if I didn't mention it to you. If I had gotten you to come up and I hadn't really talked about anything, right? But we're not going to hold our arms stiff. So turning that high, see, I'm trying to get you to turn high enough so that you're engaging more of the system. That's a Richard Martinez thing. Okay? So, yeah, better already. Okay, so we have that part. So even if we're not turning that high, I know that if I'm going to come up to here, I'm not holding everything down. I'm only going to play with my wrist. The wrist is king. It leads everything. But I'm not going to hold anything tight and not allow the system to react in a natural way. Yeah, man. There you go. Now, so we have that. Now, while we're playing this upstroke and downstroke exercise, we're not necessarily turning that high. We could, but we're not. We're just getting turns like this. Okay? And then we're gonna make a throw and still feel some of that turn. One, and now we're so slow, probably not even an upstroke. Just an up motion. Okay, now what? Now we're going to work on the throw. So now you're feeling this. Right? See? Woo! It kind of comes up. And then wants to come back down. Now don't go doing a thing. I really hesitate. Yeah, if you start to do this, you may as well just hold your wrist down here. All right, we're really feeling the wrist. Okay? In the wrist. We're not pumping with we're not engaging the bicep muscles. There, better. Okay, so now can you just bend? Here's something that Dick Wilson taught me. That's pretty good. Watch. Put your hand down on your leg. I told you I was the king of the downstroke. Talking Richard into hanging out with me on a Friday night to check out a movie. You say, Kevin, I'm not going to spend all night after the movie on playing downstrokes on your dashboard. Flip frame. There we are on the dashboard. And he's trying to help. So, but here's one of the things he taught me. Not dashboard related. Oh, here's a cool way to think of it. He'd talk to you about how if your hands, Richard Martinez talked about this too, but I've learned through other students of Dick's that he would talk about this. You put your hand on the steering wheel of your car. So go ahead and imagine it for a second. Hold the imaginary, yeah, right? Something you do 10 and 2. If you've taken the course, right? And now if you were to just roll around that steering wheel, you could I know you're going to practice this while you're driving, So be careful. But go ahead and just roll around the steering wheel. No, the steering wheel's fixed, so you're rolling around it. There you go. See? There. See? There. Okay. Now here's another way. So there's some of that action happening. Come on down here now. Hands just by your side, right? I want your arms hanging, and you don't want to be too far forward or too far back. You're just nice and natural right here. Just put them down. And then Dick would say, now just lift a little 2-pound weight right here. Just a little 2-pound weight. Right there. And then just let it fall. He'd have you do that. See, now this time, instead of when you fall, no, yours came off your leg. My fingers are still touching my leg. Lifting a little 2-pound weight right here. Right? And then he'd say, just let it fall. And it would just do that, which you just did. And then he'd say, lift a 2-pound weight. This time, just turn a little bit as you fall. No, you've got to turn a little bit as you fall. Don't come up so high, just a little 2-pound weight. And then you're just going to do some of this as you fall. There. 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 This is a little thing led by the wrist. Okay, so that's the motion. Now, if you do that, if you really make that motion, you'll get see, you'll get the bottom of the beat. Boom, and then boom, 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 boom. We're looking at this. See, and then we want some of the regular wrist turn, right? You got the feeling of a nice regular wrist turn where your arms are nice and loose. Do that again. Just remind yourself of this. Already better, but just to lock this in. Just go back to this for a second. Now, what you're going to do is lift that little 2-pound weight and feel that. And while you're doing that, the other hand's playing in between. So it's going downstroke, left, left, downstroke, right, left, right, downstroke, left, right, left, downstroke, left, right, all it's happening. Show it off, but that's pretty good. You see, speed is there. If you just really get these motions, there you go. It's getting better. Put the metronome on. Put the metronome on at 40.
It may be hard to hear since the iPad is so far away now, but there it is.
Fine. Yeah. Okay, I think I had you playing it as 8th notes. Let's try it as 8th notes.
Let's see, sorry. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3.
There's a downstroke, right? So keep that in mind. It's every 4 notes, the first of every 4 notes in this first iteration. So what we don't want, and you have played it, you were just playing it pretty fast and pretty correctly, okay? And you've played it slowly and correctly, but, okay, so let's dissect this just a little more. So what we're doing is we're remembering to make this motion. So it's going to have some of this feeling, and it's going to have some of the little lifting of the 2-pound. There, that's your. And it'll only happen once every 4 notes. It's not bad. Okay? Okay, and you're going to fill in with the other hand. But you see, but what we don't want, see, it's so slow, I don't think that would watch. We're going like this. 1 and 2. 2 is just a regular wrist turn. At this speed, it's just one of those, and it's not a big one. But you're not holding your arms tight, so that if it was a big one, everything would work just. Just, yeah, no, count out loud, and when you get to, you get to 1 and 2, 2 is just gotta be this. A beautiful throw.
4 and 1 and 2.
No, 1 and 2 and it starts with the throw. You've got to start with the throw.
2 and 3 and 4 and
1 and 2 1 and 2. No, don't make 2 and up. At this speed, just make 2 a regular wrist turn for me. There. And you're going to make an up motion, not an up stroke. Now there's the up motion. And 2 and 1. There it is. Yeah, man. Do that. Play that the other way for me.
3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2
and 2 and then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and now, right? But let's just your right's making a better throw than your left.
Yes.
And maybe that's because we didn't spend enough time. Not bad. I don't want you going off to the side. Remember, we're lifting a little 2-pound weight. Richard Wilson would sometimes put something on my hand. Because my old habit was to do this. Feel something. He would do is he'd put something on the top of my hand, and if you were really lifting a 2-pound, work with a pen, but if you're really lifting the gig is, you see, it will roll forward. But if we put a quarter, which I don't seem to have nearby, and you rest the quarter on the top of your hand and you just lifted it straight up, the gig, that's there. And when you land, you want to give it a moment to stop. If you were doing repetitive downstrokes, there wouldn't maybe be enough time to really hang up, but I don't want that to become this. We're just to make one downstroke, like for a backbeat, for a, on the snare drum for 2 and 4, you just be going pop and waiting, pop, pop. It waits. Can you stop and wait for me once, so that I know that you really feel this? Wait. Yeah, there you go. Wait. Yeah, see, that's the feeling, right? Now lift the 2-pound weight and do it again. Good. Okay. Good. So now we're just one more time, starting left. See if I can do my left. And 2 and 1 and 2. There you go. And 1. Down up. Starting left. We're starting left now. 2 is just a regular wrist turn. There you go. Make 2 a throw. Count out loud. 2 is that. 2 is just that nice smaller wrist turn that you experienced blown up. Don't slam 2. Don't start slamming. Just make the motions. There it is. See how relaxing that is? It's all it is. Don't slam 2. Just a nice smooth wrist right there. Nice. Okay. Okay. Don't slam 2. Don't slam 2. But you got the idea. Much better. Now you're not doing. Now as it speeds up, there will be an upstroke. That'll come naturally. It did because you sped it up for me, and you were making upstrokes and playing the motions, playing this exercise with correct motions. what I'd like to do is just lock in these motions. So instead of speeding it up and getting into the upstroke, let's take a look at what comes next, which is the 6/8
Sure.
exercise. Now remember, there will be downstrokes and up motions, or downstrokes and upstrokes, depending on the speed. But what we don't want to do is how you came in. You started off coming in and you did some kind of downstroke, and then you went, got the tip. Now you're not. Now you're not getting, you're going 1 and 2. There's no tip. Even if you speed it up, there's no tip. See? It'll just do that. Now, that'll come naturally. Just learn these motions. Now, the next thing we're looking at is something now in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn off your metronome for just a second. So now we have this thing that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now at this speed, you see, I'm not making upstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, now I'm making upstrokes. Okay, so okay. All right. Okay, so metronome on at 40. Now the metronome is going to become a dotted quarter note. It will be a metronome, a click for every 3 notes you play. Oh, you just started off doing this. It wasn't that. Where's the pound weight? Count out loud for me.
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3.
Good. Can you play the second iteration?
Sure. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3.
And the third iteration. And the third iteration.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 6.
Okay. We're playing it. What we're doing. Is your metronome on at 40?
Yeah.
Because we weren't playing it as the metronome as a dotted quarter. We were playing the metronome as,
It's set. My note has a setting for 6/8.
well, oh, you set it for 6/8?
Yeah.
Guess what? I probably left my metronome on. Let's see what's happening. That's funny. Okay, just put your metronome on at 40. Put your metronome on at 40 without just regular 40. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It might be cool. Let me see. Okay, so you had it set for some subdivision, and you were essentially playing each note that the metronome was clicking, which was fine. But what I want you to do now, and this might be just a little faster than what you were originally playing, or maybe not. I want you to just every 3 notes, right? You're going to play 3 notes per click.
Yeah. Got it.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, I'm off.
Okay, I'm gonna challenge you. It's a little fast. Hold on, stay with me. I see you get that. It's cool. What I want you to do now is we're going to make the metronome a quarter note. So you're playing 2 notes for every click, but counting in 6.
2 notes for every click.
Yes.
Okay.
So it'll be 1, 2,
1,
2, 3,
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3,
3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm a little bit off.
Take a throw. Make honest to goodness motions. Okay. See, now you're thinking about more than just technique.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Straight up and left. 2 pound weight for your throat.
1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Go ahead and just put the metronome up to, let's get into the 50s. Put it up to 50. Put it up to 52. Stop. Have the discipline, because I won't be here for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
And you have to become your own teacher and that's why it's helpful to have mirrors. I don't know if you have some of those, door mirrors, $6 at Kmart,
Sure.
right? And if you had even 3 of those, so that you had every angle, that's a killer way to practice. Really very, very helpful. Okay, because it takes you away from yourself and gives you a perspective as though you're watching yourself watching. Okay, so what we want to do now is when we go to play this, we got to make we got to start with an honest to goodness throw. Up, 2 pound weight. It doesn't just go like, it's got to be that motion, the little 2 pound weight. There. That's how it starts. Go for it. 52, metronome is a quarter note. Okay, now let's just consider the left hand for a minute and its regular wrist turn. Because now that the speed has come up, and I know you're thinking about playing the metronome or playing the stroke to a metronome that isn't typical for perhaps. The left, when your left makes that wrist turn, remember when we come up, right? And so it's going to be just a little smaller than that, but it's not some kind of side. Just like we don't go up by going to the side when we make a motion. We want to go straight up, 2 pound weight. We also, when we turn our wrists for a regular wrist turn, it just goes straight up. See, look, it's the same path. Even when you make a throw, it's got to be this path. There it is. There it is. Now that path in the left. Go ahead and put the stroke for me. It's a good throw. Where I'm really talking, and don't let your hand fly open. It's not some mushy kind of, you're holding the stick, not tight, but you're holding the stick, and you're going to turn for 1 note. Just goes pop. There. Then you lead with the wrist with a little 2 pound weight. There. And that's straight up and down wrist turn now. Straight up and down, we're in 6. 1, 2, 3. You went off to the side. There. Straight up and down. Straight up and down. Straight up and down in the left. Straight up and down. Are you playing to 52 right now? Were you playing to 52?
I turned it off.
Okay. Sometimes the metronome will disappear as you go to play. It's fine right now, Patrick. Up until, because I've been able to hear it, and then I didn't, and I wasn't sure you turned it off.
Yeah, I turned it off.
So that was really good. Go ahead and play again. Straight up and down on the left, like we just worked on. It's either a regular straight up and down wrister. No, it doesn't just do this, Patrick. It doesn't do this. It doesn't just go. You know, it goes like a small one of these. It just goes straight up and down. I'm talking about the little wrist turn. Yeah, there. Doesn't have to go quite that high, but it has to be straight up and down. Like there you go. There, with a grip. There. Now go ahead and play the 6/8. Give me that little straight up and down wrist turn in the left. Come up at least 4 inches. There it is. No, 4 inches every time. 4 inches. 4, no, just 4. No, too high. There. That's it. There. It's got to be the same every time. Right? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay. Now, when you played, when you didn't have the metronome on, you were playing it a little bit faster, and you started to incorporate upstrokes, and you didn't even know it. Because if you have all this stuff in place, if you actually have this little straight up and down wrist turn, right, and you have an honest to goodness throw, and it starts to speed up, and you'll notice, see all these notes are the same? I'm just adding accents to it. But these notes are the same. And after, once you go to speed it up, it'll just speed up on yourself. You see that it will work. So I suggest 52, maybe up into. You can play around with the idea of getting it up to, I don't know, maybe 58. Well, I'll leave that to you. Right now, what I really want you to do is honor the motions. And to do that, it means that you have to just be settled enough to meditate at a slow tempo, to really get these motions into your body. But once you really do have a wrist turn, and you're not going like this, or throwing your fingers open, once you really do have an honest to goodness throw, and you're not going like this, but you're actually lifting the 2-pound weight, it goes up straight, everything will take care of itself. As you just proved, you got, I mean, what's this, your 4th lesson? You're holding the sticks, you're making motions, pretty good. Okay? I'm gonna leave you with that.
Your advice and all this stuff, this is good. This is good. Thank you.
Very welcome. Good job. I'm going to turn off the recording.